as LSG fielding coach or as a part of LSG, are you guys ready to welcome Rohit Sharma in your team? You have played with him in Mumbai Indians.
Well, Rohit Sharma is a kind of player that, he has the experience. He's won titles. He'll be welcome in any team that he walks into. I mean, we've obviously got to set up.
We'll be seeing you in a new role as a brand ambassador. So, what you have to say about that role and the league?
Well, firstly, about this role as a brand ambassador, I just got to keep reminding myself that my job is behind the field or off the field, not even in the dugout. I've got to stay, I've got to watch from a distance and hopefully in the sort of VIP area. But it's more a case of, just being excited to push another opportunity and another platform for talented young, some might be young, some might be old, but for talented cricketers in India.
And we have seen from Sachin Tendulkar to Virat Kohli, and Virat Kohli will be retiring in 4 5 years. So, who you think is the next big thing in Indian cricket? Who can become? Any name you?
Sure, that's really tough. I mean, I think every IPL you just see these young guys, Abhishek, the guys who come in and suddenly start smashing runs at the start. So many sixes, play with freedom. So that I can't single, sure, I can't single any one player out. There's so many young guys who I think are going to. The future of Indian cricket is in good hands. Let's just say that.
What it may takes to become a good fielder?
Well, I think there's a couple of elements. One is obviously mobility and agility, because if you can't get to the ball, you're never going to catch it. And if you don't move well, you're not going to catch it with a full part of your hand. So there's certainly the movement aspect of it. But the most important part of it, because not everybody was built like me in the South African team, but most of our players had really good catching hands and good catching skills. And that element is just being ready for the ball before it's hit. Because these days, I mean, and even in this league, we're going to seen the highlights packages from previous years. The players hit the ball really, really hard. I mean, we play on good venues. It travels out the ground. It travels at speed. And if you're not ready for the ball or expecting the ball before it's hit, you don't have time to react.
And who, according to you, is the greatest fielder of all time? If you say you can't take your name. Any three fielders you say, or you can say one also.
Well, I think someone like Herschel Gibbs, who I played next to for a long time, a brilliant fielder, also because he played many other sports from tennis to rugby to football, and you could see his movement. AB de Villiers, superb. Ricky Ponting, obviously for Australia, and the late Andrew Simons, who was probably the first player when T20 came on. Because of his size, you think, well, he won't be very agile, but he was really good on the boundary. Big hands, good throw, but he moved so well for a big man that he was a great all-round cricketer. So that in that sort of generation of mine, those are the players for me that really stood out. But now I've always, throughout the IPL, I've loved watching Suresh Raina. AB de Villiers, when he hasn't got the wicket-keeping gloves on, is a great mover. The same with Virat Kohli. But I think the key, I mean, the guy who stands, New Zealand have Glenn Phillips, who's so fast. He gets to shots and he gets to balls that no one else will get to. But Jadeja is just superb, man. I mean, he's the kind of guy that you don't see him diving that much because he's so fast across the ground. Great hands if he's fielding in the circle, if he's fielding in those hot spots on the boundary, nothing gets past him, and so deadly accurate. He was a bit like Ricky Ponting compared to me when it came to accuracy throwing down the stumps. If you hit the ball in Jadeja's area and you're taking a single, 7 out of 10 times he's going to hit. Whereas for me, it was 3 or 4 out of 10 if I was lucky.
So it's a very straightforward question. As LSG fielding coach or as a part of LSG, are you guys ready to welcome Rohit Sharma in your team? You have played with him in Mumbai Indians.
Well, Rohit Sharma is a kind of player that, he has the experience. He's won titles. He'll be welcome in any team that he walks into. I mean, we've obviously got to set up. I'm not privy to the decision making that goes around owners and captains, and that's head coach's role and mentors' roles and owners. So I think from that point of view, wherever Rohit goes, if he goes, anybody will be happy to have him. He's such a talented, and he's a good man. Having worked with him at Mumbai Indians, he brings real value in his captaincy and his batting, but just his down-to-earth attitude, which is so important in a high sort of pressure cooker situation like the IPL is for 10 weeks.